back to another one, and today we have a couple of topics to cover, from one that shows Snoop Dogg address getting checked by Kendrick Lamar, to more from Snoop that shows the rapper diss Suge Knight over comments that Suge has made about him in the past. Today we also have more that shows Eminem continued to suffer from AI recreations, as while the boomers have been getting a beatdown on Facebook. Fans on this platform continue to see strange features pop up, and now we got a new challenger. This time Google AI was spotted creating its history about an Eminem feature that never happened. And today we got more that has come from the Tory Lanez drama, as we saw Chris Brown join the action, and we also got a wild update on the story we covered in the last video involving Doechii and Adin as things escalated quickly, as you'd see later. And today we'll be starting with what Snoop said about Kendrick Lamar checking him on whacked out murals. And I'm talking about the bars when Kendrick rapped, Snoop posted tailor-made, I prayed it was the edibles. I couldn't believe it. It was only right for me to let it go. And from the Breakfast Club, we got to find out how things went down between Snoop and Kendrick. Check it out.
We'll have a talk after he dropped whacked out murals.
For what?
I mean, just to have a conversation.
What's there to talk about? That's my little homie. He spoke his mind. He said what he said. Like, and like I said earlier, like, as an older guy, sometimes we don't have radar on what we doing. Just so y'all can know the scenario of what happened. It was a repost, Gin and Juice, that Who Kid sent me.
Damn Who Kid.
But it had that song in it. I don't even know what the fuck the song was. I just reposted on my shit because it's my brand. Then when I get wind of it, naturally, I reach out to nephew, let him know, my bad, I didn't mean that. And naturally, he responded the way he responded. Well, we family. Like, you can't have a spat or a misunderstanding with your brother, your cousin.
Yes, of course.
That's how it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to get no bigger than that. It's supposed to be understood. What's understood don't need to be explained. See, a big dog can get checked if it's by the right person, if he got the right intellect. There's nothing wrong with being properly put in place if you out of place. That's what's wrong with half of us, that we feel like the young generation can't tell us nothing. You used to be young too. And you had a mind and you had a spirit, and sometimes the young generation can teach the old dog a new trick if he willing to listen.
And while this mostly sparked reactions along the lines of even OG spitting facts and showing emotional and maturity intelligence, this is the type of ish all adults need to understand. However, there were a minority of fans who believe that they should have handled it behind the scenes instead of Kendrick Lamar putting it on a record. Hence reactions like, it is one thing to have a misunderstanding, it is another to get in the booth and say somebody's name before addressing it with them. That's some clown bomb floor bomb-ish.
Take it easy, take it easy.
Calm down, calm down.
And believe it or not, some users actually agree with this, as a user expanded with, facts. He could have simply called Snoop and talked about it. They squashed it really quick with a call from Snoop afterwards, so why couldn't they have that call before the song was released? Dot just wanted the smoke. And perhaps you could say that Kendrick was in the mood for some smoke when he was making GNX, due to the fact that he was coming off the high of defeating Drake in the battle. One could argue, so there's some truth to this in my opinion, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts later in the comment section. And moving on to the next point, it is clear that there's some bad blood between Snoop Dogg and Suge Knight, and this was resurrected after Snoop purchased Death Row Records. And if you recall, a few weeks back, we got to hear from Suge Knight during an interview with The Art of Dialogue, where he put Snoop on blast. And check out some excerpts from this report of how this started. Suge Knight slams Snoop Dogg for destroying Death Row, and here's an excerpt from the article. Snoop, he said, I'm mad because you bought Death Row. What did you buy? Show me the paperwork. Show me what you own, he said. He recounted how Snoop's Doggy Style label never took off and his other deficiencies while working for Def Jam. Did you do anything good for Def Jam? Absolutely not, he added. Now you want to start something that has nothing to do with you. You going backwards. You're trying to create something that Suge Knight created, but instead of going big, you disappointed the world by making everything flop. Suge broadened his critiques to the entire music landscape as well, saying everybody destroying hip-hop before turning his attention back to Snoop. If you have Death Row, you destroyed it. You messed up the name. And following the release of the latest album, Is It a Crime? On the song Shut Your Clown Ass Up, Snoop literally started his verse by dissing Suge Knight. I can see why you mad. I bought everything you own, now you in PC snitching on the phone. And of course, as we've come to expect with every topic on social media, on one end it sparked reactions like Diddy and Suge getting the karma they deserve for killing Biggie and Pac, while on the other end, some believe that Snoop is using Suge Knight for clout, as a user expanded with unnecessary clout from Snoop. You also had a hand in Tupac's death, and you don't have anything else to rap about now. You might as well just focus on your business profiles. You're really doing great with the businesses you have internationally, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts on the back and forth between Snoop and Suge Knight at the moment. And for those of you who have checked out the album, what are your thoughts on Is It a Crime, especially in comparison to the last one with Dr. Dre and Snoop, Missionary? Which is the better album? And before we head to the next point of Chris Brown jumping into the action of Tory Lanez versus Megan Thee Stallion, before we get to it, now's a great time to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, as we drop these stories on a daily basis. And better yet, if you are enjoying it so far, do us the honors, hit the like button.
Oh, ain't no shit on my game, dog.
And moving on, we got new reports of some new evidence that have surfaced in the Tory Lanez versus Megan Thee Stallion case. Check out the headline from TMZ. Tory Lanez stabbed after contacting Megan Thee Stallion's team. Team says Kelsey Harris was the shooter. And check out a snippet from the lead legal consultant, Walter Roberts.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm, gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. It is our contention that he was wrongly convicted. And while we at first were willing to let the process play out, it is our contention now that if he is not pardoned or released promptly, he may never come out. And that would be the ultimate injustice, is that he gets killed in prison for something he did not do.
And we have to stress a detail that many users have missed on social media, because people think the new evidence came in after Tory Lanez was reportedly stabbed 14 times. But on the contrary, the incident happened after they reached out to Megan Thee Stallion's team, not the other way around. And as we've come to expect, users on social media are divided, as on one end some are asking, so what made him come out now? And the reactions were all over the place, as it could be anything from guilt all the way to a legal threat behind the scenes. We don't know for sure. However, a user fired back at this question with this stupid question you asked is equivalent to asking an abused woman, why did you stay with him, dumb idiot? So clearly some users took it personal, and we got more divisive takes, as some have expanded. We all knew that already, but us men got called all kinds of woman-hating bum dudes for calling her out. But apparently it wasn't just the men, as another user expanded. Exactly. As a woman myself, people swore I was a hater. But the fact is, this is an ongoing case that looks to be far from over, even though Tory Lanez is serving time at the moment. And some have expanded upon the news of new evidence with, even with the new evidence, women aren't gonna believe it and nothing will change. Meg will never be held accountable and life will go on like nothing happened. But I'd say wait and see before we jump to conclusions, before starting the blame game. And we got Chris Brown jump in the action, as he posted this on IG stories a few hours ago after the breaking news, Free Tory. And we are beginning to sound like a broken record at the moment when it comes to how divisive these posts can be, as on one end Chris Brown is getting slammed with takes like wife beater said what, while on the other end we got some users out here quoting Drake's lyrics and expanding on how they aged like fine wine. This B lie about getting shot, but she's still a stallion. And I'll be looking forward to your thoughts on this commotion in the comment section. Do you think Tory Lanez's team are desperate, or could they be on to something? Let us know below. And moving on to the next point, we got a statement from Andre 3000 that's got hip-hop fans in shock, as many fans struggle to believe that he actually said this. Check out a snippet from Tetragrammaton with Rick Rubin.
I think because I'm a rapper, my win was up to start with, you know.
Do you still think of yourself as a rapper?
I don't really. That's what's crazy.
Because you just said that. And I was like,
I
really?
know, but it's
You're
kind
a
of like,
rapper?
Yeah, I know. It's weird, man. Like, I wish I was more of a rapper right now.
It's another life.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's funny, like, when you ask me that, because, like, I have thoughts all the time, and sometimes raps start as just thoughts. And so I always write them down, and I always rhyme things. I still rhyme, you know, but it's not like an everyday practice. I don't know. I don't have a connection with it like I used to.
Yeah.
You know, but I would like to. And I keep trying, because there's a challenge that I'm trying to do with myself. Like, I want to see, well, what can I make that sounds authentic for me right now, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm influenced by everything. So I listen to, you know, new kids, old kids, like, so I always try to figure out, what can I do now? You know, at this age, I'll be 50 in May. And it's even weird for me to even say, like, 50. Like, I do not feel 50 at all.
No.
You know, but when I look in the mirror and I see all this silver hair, I'm like, yeah, nigga, you 50.
And of course, it is a lot of rap fans who are shocked by this revelation from Andre 3000 as a user expanded with, isn't it insane that one of the top 5 lyricists of all time doesn't feel it in his spirit to put pen to paper? I just don't know how to feel about that. And it seems like some users are still triggered by his instrumental albums. As if you recall, he dropped one a few days ago, this time a piano album, a follow-up to the flute album. And check out the reactions from those who look to be triggered by his recent choices. But he feel a connection to these Sorry Bomb instrument albums with the flute, though loudly crying emojis. And here's one before we head to the next point of the wild update linked to our last story of Doechii versus Adin Ross. Check it out. Once you're out for so long, regardless of what level of success / notoriety, the realm for that particular creativity just closes. Very few reignite their creative flame. Some don't. Sounds like he's at the level of trying to catch a spark, but it is just not there. Where do you rank Andre 3000 on the GOAT list of rappers? As some fans believe that he's top 3, despite the fact that he's yet to release a solo rap album. What are your thoughts? And moving on, we have a quick update on the last story we covered of when Adin Ross put Doechii on blast for how she acted at the Met Gala to her staff. And apparently he had quick consequences for going off on the rising star. Check out a snippet from a live stream with academics where he revealed that he lost a brand deal over those comments.
You know what's crazy? Oh my God, I'm so mad at my PR was finally getting better. I had 2 deals lined up. Same with DD. I was talking to him. He lost both my deals. On God.
Yo,
like they fucked up my shit, his shit. Like I had an ad deal too. I was gonna do. Bro, I'm mad as fuck. I was like, like it's not even about the money. It's just because like I want to do it. Because it's like, damn, it was a big ad. It was a big deal. So it's like. But all good, man. But yeah, bro. I mean, that's just the way it is, bro. That's the reality of how the world works. I mean, you know how it is, bro.
Yo, I think Kai is the only streamer clean enough to like really be aligned with brands.
And this snippet was met with dozens of reactions like, deserved. He only speaks bad about black women. Never seen a good comment on a black woman artist ever from that guy. And if you were with us for our last coverage, where we went into detail of his rant, including the video of Adin Ross doubling down on his comments, what are your thoughts on this take? Well, he was basically calling her the hard R. Just wasn't man enough to say it. If anybody a plant, it is him. How the F did y'all let this dude get famous anyway? And if you saw our last coverage, do you think this user is onto something that he wasn't man enough to just call her the hard R? And moving on to the next point, while we've seen some of the most obvious AI posts on Facebook linked to Eminem that a lot of boomers seem to fall for, now we got a new one on Google, this time from Google AI when you search Mac Miller and Eminem. And this one sparked a conversation on Reddit a few hours ago due to AI making some claims about how they have a song that they've worked on.
What?
Mac Miller and Eminem collaborated on the song I Actually Overdosed from Eminem's album Kamikaze, and as you can see, it went into detail about Eminem's lyrics on the song, including Mac Miller rapping a verse, hence the thread, "Bro, can Google get rid of AI?" And this was a top comment, the fact that it is so in-depth about a song that doesn't exist, laughing emoji. And we got some self-proclaimed experts in the field to explain what is actually going on with these AI models. As a user expanded with, this ish is one of the weirdest, funniest, and terrifying things about generative AI models. Sometimes they don't know how to interpret the prompt, or it can't find reliable data. The way these models are trained causes them a compulsion to adhere to responding no matter what, so they get confused and will confidently generate text and say it is correct. This quirk is called hallucination, and it is crazy because this was AI copying AI, as we got AI created songs featuring Eminem and Mac Miller's vocals, the same way we see collaborations pop up Adele and Eminem on this platform, or Selena Gomez featuring Eminem. And now we got AI referring to these songs and providing detailed explanation using the lyrics on search engines. Crazy. And we also got to find out that sometimes websites install software meant to mislead AI, and this is done on purpose when AI chooses to ignore warnings to not access a site's data. And that will be all for today, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. See you on the next one.